like, pick one up. If you don't want to pick one up, you can pick one up on the way out. And feel free to ask questions along the way. Why should we distribute a CD-ROM to our students? Because we have students, about 670 in our school. We have a summer class of about 45 that enters in June, and then we have generally about 175 JVs and about 60 to 70 foreign LLM students there in the fall. After all, can't they just download everything they need, right? Everything's on the internet. Well, you could probably download everything they need. I know I and our staff could download everything they need, but we're not the students. Pretty much it seems like the 80-20 rule that we all talk about applies to students' computer skills too. There's about a bell curve in the middle of about 80% who can do most things okay, but there's 10% that are really great, 10% that don't know how they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. And why make them work from the first day to get things that you can hand them on almost literally a silver platter? But don't need to infringe on that trademark if they're still in business. So why not a CD-ROM? First of all, you can provide software that's custom fit to your environment. Instead of sending them all over the web and getting the wrong version of something, you can provide them with your network clients if you've got network clients they're going to need. You can provide them with the printer drivers they're going to need for the printers that are on your network. And you can provide them licensed versions of utilities through either your or your campus site license, rather than making them go out on the web and downloading NACware or demo software. Secondly, you can provide them with more ease of installation, make everything menu-driven, so that they're not trying to figure out what do I unzip, what file am I supposed to start to get this software loaded on my computer, and they've got everything in hand. So if they're at home and they haven't yet set up their high-speed internet connection, or they've only got a low-speed dial-up connection, instead of taking hours to download stuff, they pick the CD you've given them, pop it in the computer, and they're off and running with their installations. More reasons. Why not? Again, just about everybody's got some kind of optical drive in their computer. They've either got a CD, CD-ROM, or DVD, so it's not likely they're not going to be able to take advantage of it. And a big reason, if you think about it, especially in the mission of your law school, is branding. You want your students to identify with the institution from the day they arrive until well past their graduation when they're a helpful alumni. So you're putting your name and your school's logo in their hands from the very first day they're in your institution. Every time they use your computer, they're going to see the school's name. And hopefully when they leave the school, they're going to have fond memories of computing services along with their other fond memories at the law school. And you can provide them with browsers that even say, provided by your law school. Every time they open a web page, it's going to say, Internet Explorer provided by, Netscape provided by. So the first impression of your department can be a professionally produced CD-ROM. That's what we handed out this morning. What should we put on it? Anything you want them to put on their computer that will make your job as a support person easier. It'll make it so instead of you're having to find them something, you've already given it to them. Programs that anybody in any environment can use. Antivirus scanners, Adobe Acrobat Reader, your favorite browsers, and why not all the browsers? If you've got, of course, if they're coming in with XP, they've already got IE6, but you're probably going to have some students who haven't done that blocking computers and may have an older version of IE. Give them that. Give them 5.5 or 6. You're okay. Give them Netscape and Mozilla. They're free. Give them that PP client. Probably your campus has a site license for FTP. If not, you can probably afford a site license for a small number of students compared to the whole university. And a lot of them, if they have some need to get into remote access to a Unix box, many universities still do provide Unix shell accounts for students. And you really don't want them, hopefully, using clear text for their passwords. Hopefully your university is moving towards secure environment, network clients. So, for example, anybody decide to run network when they're operating, network operating system? Okay. How many of your students have the network client when they walk in the door? They give them the network client. Email clients. All flavors of email are out there. Group-wide, Exchange, Jesus Outlook, primary client, other things. Give them your email client. Printer drivers, so that they don't have to go to HP site and wait in line behind everybody else downloading today to get the HP driver or Lexmark or whatever else you have. And occasionally you might be able to squeeze the CALI exercise on there. We did that once, and we would like doing it. The only reason we can't do it is because the time cycle doesn't work. By the time the CALI exercise come out, most years you don't get them until late July or early August, and by then RCD is already done the rest. But if the timing works right, CALI will be glad to let you include it for free on the OCD. And your documentation. Anything you would already give them in paper, or you think about giving them in paper, or stop giving them in paper because you got tired of paper, put it on the CD. You make it simple. Put it in HTML. They open the browser. There's the documentation they need. May you put something on the CD? In other words, where you got to get permission from? Be absolutely scrupulous about licensing any software you put on the CD. After all, you work for what? A law school. Intellectual property means something in law schools especially. Don't be distributing things you have not licensed, or that don't require a license. Check for open licensing, so it could be public domain software, or it could be something with a new public license, so that, you know, as long as you follow the new license, which basically means if you're not altering the software, you can do what you want with it for free. Look at those products. Check with your main campus computing services to see if they've already got a campus-wide side license that covers you and your students, in which case you can piggyback on that. This is what we do for things like WordPress. License it yourself. To start with, these three products all offer free licensing distribution. And they're in red because they're links, but I'm not going to bother taking you to those sites now. I just wanted to be aware of it. So Netscape, you go to Netscape and get their license. And when this presentation is posted on the web, and these links will be active, you can go and get their license for presentation. Internet Explorer Administration Kit and Adobe Acrobat Reader. All you have to do is give them basic information, and you may distribute these to anybody in your school for free. In the case of Netscape and Internet Explorer, you can customize them so that the first time they open the product, they get your homepage. If you want them to use POP or IMAP mail in Outlook Express or Netscape Messenger, you can reset the server settings just for those versions, and then they don't have to bother setting all that. All they got to enter their account information. And of course, everybody needs Acrobat Reader these days to read all sorts of documents. It's generally not on their computer if they haven't already put it on there, but you can help them get it when putting it on your CD. Okay, now we know what we're going to put on there. So we move to the next step, which is how to arrange it on the CD so it's useful for the students. We are primarily a Linux environment, so we use software called Autoplay Mega Studio. And if you go to the software, it's a few $100 for the licensed version, so not everybody can afford it. They have a pretty liberal upgrade policy in terms of keeping you upgraded when they change the system. We've looked a little bit at Macintosh. I'll talk about Macintosh before we're at the end of the session. I've not got a dedicated menu designer, but if you're familiar with Shockwave or other Mac-related products, you can design the menu. We could probably set up an HTML page menu if you need to look into that. Design tip for any menu you do. Avoid clutter. Don't make it too crowded. Remember, law students have a whole lot of things on their mind besides installing software that first week of school. They want to make it as easy as possible. Use multiple pages and link among them. And perhaps you want to do some branching between the menus so that not everybody needs to see already got as a benefit of being a student in your school. So now I'm going to take a few minutes, an unscripted few minutes, and open up the section in Autoplay Menu Studio to show you how to design a menu for Windows computers with the product. And then open the existing menu. In fact, I'm going to open the menu that's used on that CD I've handed out. And it's telling me I have to copy our bitmap file with the logo on it. So I'll put that up. I'll keep it right up here. It's not saying do flaw like it does on the CD stuff. This is the menu we've already got with, you'll see across the top is pretty much a standard looking toolbar. Here are text items. I prefer to use text rather than pictures or icons to trigger the menu action. Here you see the tabs that tell you each page of the menu. So if I wanted to create a new item on this menu, I would say Object, Text. I type in the name of the object. You can set attributes on it as to the size of the text and so forth. I can change the action in terms of the color of what it's going to be when the pointer highlights it. I really do not like blue and yellow as a color combination. I prefer blue and red. I'm not sure why. Except that it was all high school colors. But then the key here that really controls things is the action that happens when the student clicks on the item. By default, they're going to play some noise music. I don't like the way people speak these. Delete that. But then we do a new item. So typically, most often what we're going to do is run a program that's on the CD, typically an installation program. So we go execute, and then we have all sorts of choices. We could execute a program, we could open up a folder, we could open a document, we could open a URL link, we could play a file, we could print a document. Typically, we're going to execute a program. We're going to go down here for the file name, and we're going to open that up. And that will let us browse for whatever file on the CD we want to run. Now in this version, you can have multiple actions for each click on the menu. So that's, for example, you may be familiar with the CALI virus scan, at least that's the last time I was in the office earlier in the week. To do a full installation, you install virus 451, you install the installation file, and you go back and install Service Pack 1. Well, you can set that up within the menu item. First thing it does is it runs install setup.exe, and then it immediately runs sp1.exe, which installs the Service Pack. So that way, instead of your student download the CALI and run two separate programs, it's sitting on the menu for them to use. Very simple program to build, many the features you need, the features we need, things to apply. When you'll see we have several pages here. So for example, this menu just jumps to another page. If you look at that, action, jump to page, and it just takes us to the next page in the menu that's appropriate for them. So if you go to that page right here, then these are the options they have. They're all after that network requirements. And the idea is why make the people who have a version of the operating system that particular programs are applied to, why bother their time by making them look at the choices for that? Just take them to the things they need, not the things that are useful to them. Install network printers. Typically, you don't use an installation program on a network because you don't want all the extra stuff like communicating back and forth to review along the desktop printer. Instead, you really just want the drivers. So we put it in text here. This is what you need to do. And here's detailed information about how to connect your printer or network. Here's the documentation. And then if you're not sure where on the CD the particular HP driver is, even after reading all of our instructions, you can click here and open up the CD and you'll see what you're supposed Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It wouldn't be, I mean, you'd have to be distributing all the critical objects on CD all the time. You link them. I suppose you could distribute the menu program. You could link them to the, well, certainly you could put in a URL to the Windows Update page. On the other hand, you could also give people a bookmark or tell them to click on Windows Update. On the faculty staff side, these warnings sometimes managers will like send or those in the console. But I don't know that this would do students. This would not be an efficient way to, any more efficient than just having a student remember to click on auto update. The best thing to really do with students is give them instructions on how to set up automatic auto update, so every time they're plugged in, the computer goes back to Microsoft and says. That's a good question. I suppose if you can write a little bit of Windows scripting is good. I'm not a Windows script writer. You just basically have to modify the registry or stick a shortcut in the appropriate folder under Windows. So you could, for example, say, you could create the icon and then say copy x.lnk over to C Windows Desktop, and they have the icon. But that's a bit of programming beyond what I normally do. Once you've created a menu in the CD, then you do need to test. The last thing you want is to hand out 1,500 CDs. That's something very important. Test the CD on every platform which you intended. For us, that means Windows 98, 2000, and XP, so we basically just set up computers of our own that have these OSs on them and run them. But also for us, because we do get anywhere from 2 to 5 Mac users every year. This year, it means for the first time, Macintosh. We have a couple of Mac computers that run operating design in our video lab. We have students help out with this computer. And the reason we went with Mac, we're offering Macintosh on the CD this year is, as I said, every year, even though we push Windows in our current operating system, we're not going to say to a student, I'm not going to say to a student, no, you decide to come to a new, but we don't want you to come to yours because I'm going to say, look, if you want a Macintosh, we have a lower level of support, we're going to do our best for you. And this year, one part of doing our best is, instead of making them download the stuff that the Windows users get on the CD, they're going to have it on CD too. It's going to be the same CD, so we don't have to convert two different sets of CDs. I'll talk about how we do that. Test every item. That means you go through every page and try to execute it and make sure it does what it's supposed to do when you execute it, and have others on your staff do it. And if you've got students around the time you're testing, have them do it too, because they'll do things differently than you would do. And that means the links, the programs that run, and making sure all your documents show up right at the same page on and on. Once you've done that, you can burn your master using any standard CD creation program, Nero, CD Creator, or whatever you like. Be sure for your mastering that you're putting in a mode 1, that is, you're not going to put multiple sessions on it, you're going to burn it all at once. Otherwise, some computers will have trouble opening it. Certain computers, if you put on those old CD-ROM, they have trouble opening it. And use the Joliet file system, which is a system that supports the longer file names for Windows users. What about Mac disks in a mixed environment? Well, I didn't want to have to go buy a Mac and a bunch of Mac programs to try to test it. I'm going to try to create a CD, but I did find a program called Mac Image, which you can find is this company's name. Actually, their URL is mcdrive.com. What it lets you do is on a Windows computer, create an image file that supports both the ISO 966 MS, which is a hierarchical file system that Macintosh uses for its CDs. You can set up file folders on a Windows PC with the programs in there. You then generate an image using MacImage, and that image is an ISO image, and then you use your CD to create the program to format it into a CD. And that CD can then be used by your Mac users and your Windows users from the CD. And you started doing that this year, next summer. Then you've got to design the packaging. What kind of packaging are you going to use? Are you going to be minimalist and use only a sleeve? Or are you going to do what we do and do a whole package? Like your games that I want to do. Another opportunity with brand. We're going to have that jewel case lying around. And probably your main Canton Printer Publications office can do the design work for you. They'll charge us something for it. That's all going to be a whole lot. It costs us like $300 or $400 for assembling everything that goes under the design. And go forth and multiply, replicate your CD. There are hundreds of thousands of companies out there. We have one that we use in the past, corporate this company, so that we keep using them. You may have somebody local, maybe your campus has an office in the CD replication. If they do, you want to know can they do the packaging for you as well. We pay from $1.50 to $1.80 each in lots of 1,000, including they're doing the 4-color fill to do the CD box. And packaging and selling, shipping and that costs about $1,800 to do it. Give them away. Make sure you distribute them. They do no good sitting in your office. We do computer setup sessions for our students with orientation. We require them to own notebooks, and part of orientation in the fall is very hectic. We've got about 180 students doing 2 days, set up their laptops, doing lots of lessons, while they set up their laptops in classroom situations. List 20 to 25 students each staff in 2.5 hours. Give them instructions so those who are students can do it on their own, but we're there to help take them through the rough spots. And we virtually hold the hands of those who've never done a computer before. Keep them handy at your help desk so that somebody who wasn't at orientation, your returning students can pick up on it first. And we haven't looked at this yet. You might think about, is this something that would be useful to show prospective students that here's the place they should come, that we were already ready for them to bring in a computer to give that some thought. Obviously, we have a slideshow, and again, my prepared remarks, but I'd be glad to talk, answer questions. I think it's a program that will be very useful to us. It's making it a lot easier on us and our students. Yeah. Well, it's my time in terms of creation. I would say probably takes 20 and 30 hours of my time, and then our staff testing it probably takes another 10, 15 hours. So it's well worth the time. Yeah. No, we haven't used 96 at all. We're still for the ID we've been distributing, we're still distributing 5.5. We're waiting for all the bugs out. Not all, because all of them are never out. Best known bugs are out. So we're still going with 5.5 at this point because the XP users are going to have 6 already. We don't want them to overwrite the one on their personal browser, and the older Windows users, we're not sure 6 and 7 is the best one's going to be anyway. Yeah. Sure, especially what we changed this year is, well, last year we discouraged people from trying to install it on ME, and we pushed people don't come with ME, but last year a bunch of people came with ME. That'll be less of a problem this year because we will find new computers, except for those who insist on going out and buying one that has SD components for professional, despite the fact that for the last 10 months we've had on our website 5 professional. But yeah, we've had problems, and we worked with students one-on-one to resolve the problem one way or another. Absolutely give up at the last resort.
So you let
IBM, where they get extended warranty coverage, including breakage and spill. Screen breakage and spill is here, so it's really not some incentive for them to buy from the computer store. We know that anything they buy from the computer store, they can do what we want. Really, the hardest thing is to convince them not to go to big box stores and buy compact ROMs and go off the shelf. Yeah. We do all first level software support. The only thing we rely on campus computing for is network connectivity. We handle everything. We do all first level software support, first level hardware support to the point of identifying what we think the problem is, whether we then tell them to use one service or if they run a that one to eliminate something. But our goal is we have a campus license version. We have a license, we license. So far, campus is license, and that was the population. We don't have to pay for any license. On network, on server, that's why I'm saying very broad, including on occasion for one different one number. If they've got a license or OS on them, we will insist them. We want to generally be most optimal. If their computer is working enough to do it, sometimes there's nothing you can do. But we generally will increase their network share space and something like that.
Dial-up network connections do not have remote access for either your faculty or...
We do not provide a direct connection anymore. People have to have a private ID. They walk in, we give our best shot, but we can't fix it, then we tell them. But very rarely do we not fix it. With a lot of experience. All right, thanks a lot.